Hey, how we doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How's the day going?
It is good. I've been like running around like crazy, but cannot complain.
That's a good thing for that busy, right?
Yes, yes. It's good for a Monday.
Man,
How's
we're
your
just
day?
like busy but good. I'm over in Omaha, Nebraska, so it's been like 70 degrees today, so it's like
Dang.
ideal right now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'll
warmer than
take
it
it.
is here.
Where are you guys
Yeah,
calling from?
we're in Atlanta.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yes. And then Maisha is about to join. I was just on the phone with her 2 seconds ago, so I know she's logging in.
Yeah, she's popping on right now.
Beautiful.
Okay, we just gotta get her to
All
unmute
right.
herself.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep,
Yes,
I
now
can
we
hear you. Just can't see you.
Awesome. Let me turn my camera on and grab my notepad. Let's see. Where the heck is this? I'm so used to using, oh, I see it at the bottom. Okay. Hello.
Hey, how we doing?
Doing great.
All right, we got the Atlanta connection on board, right?
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. So I looked over your guys' notes. It looks like you guys have already kind of established like 45 clients. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Give or take.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it you guys are specializing in and how long have we had this business going?
Yeah, so Maggie, I can start out. So we started this business around October, November of last year. And like, so what we do is personal training completely online, macro tracking, so some nutrition guidance, and then just kind of curating a plan for our clients. Some of them are just online training programs and some are just tracking macros. So it really just depends on the client.
Cool. Now, as far as your guys' programming goes, are you going based upon each individual's needs or do you already kind of have like a customized plan that you kind of plug in for everybody?
Yeah, that's a great question. So no, ours is completely customizable per client. So for example, if a client has injuries or they have access to certain equipment or they really want to focus on building lower body versus their upper body. So everything is completely catered to the person, their schedule, what their goals are, what they have access to, past injuries, current injuries, et cetera, or if they're pregnant, et cetera. Yeah.
Love that. Cool.
And I will
So
say, like, for people who like are in like similar like scenarios, like we have a couple girls who like are about the same build, same intake, same kind of history, like that athletic history. We will put them on like a similar plan, like, because we have like, I don't know how to describe it, like different variations, like advanced, moderate, beginner, all that stuff. And so for the people who have like a good like history of weightlifting and no proper form and no nutrition and have counted macros, in terms of like their workouts, we tend to put them on a similar like regimen of plans, I guess.
But it is customized to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure, I get it. So you want to work smarter, not harder. So if you have a couple people that fall within the same category, it's very similar, but however, we can always change and adapt based upon that unique person's needs. So if one person has a similar background, but one person, say for instance, has lower back issues, obviously I'm going to put them on a back squat. So instead of like a back squat, we'll put them on like a leg press, something similar to that, correct?
Yes.
Right
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. I love it. Now, is your guys' programs like, for each program, are you guys doing like 6 or 8 week programming? Like, how does your guys' fluctuate from? Is it month to month? How does it look?
In terms of like the programs that they're actually doing is each phase is 8 weeks. Okay. But in terms of billing, we don't have a contract currently. So I don't know if you meant like what they're executing versus what we're charging them. We're charging them month to month. Which is, we know we need to change.
For sure. Now, how are you guys collecting payments on month to month? Do you guys have like a subscription based? Are we doing Venmo? What are we doing?
Yeah, we use Trainrise as our, so we use that as our platform. We use it as our payment method and it goes through Stripe and then directly into our joint bank account.
I like that. Now, if I looked at it, you guys are bringing in right around, you said 5K at 45 clients. Is that correct?
Yeah, a little bit under 5K, but right around there.
So you guys are charging like what, just over about just slightly over 100 per person?
It's gonna vary. Yeah, you're gonna. This is the
It's bad.
Maggie, I'll let you take this one because I can't even.
Thanks. So when we like first started, like we kind of like for lack of better terms, like soft launched in like end of July and just took on a bunch of friends just to kind of get some results, get content, all that stuff, trial and error. And so they are paying $75 a month.
Okay.
Yeah. And unfortunately they've all stuck around. Like, which is good for us, but like at the same time, it's like, oh God, like now that we just know. But right now, which we know we need to change, like our highest clients are paying 175.
Okay, so that's the highest. Okay, so industry averages on the very, very low end is 250, upper end's like 500. So vastly undercharging. So kudos to your clients for getting away with murder, but for you guys to make a successful income, because I was like, man, I read the first part, 45 clients. I was hyped for you guys. Then I'm like, 5K, how's that possible? And then I like looked at it and I was like,
another thing I will say is some of them are doing just macro, some of them are doing just, so that's why you'll see kind of like the balanced out, like where you said that's about $100 a client. So
sure.
But yeah, just like Maggie's saying, our truest and most loyal clients are the ones that we have earlier on, which I don't blame them because they can't get that anywhere else.
100%. So as far as certifications for both of you, like what are we working with right now?
Yeah, so I am ACE certified in terms of personal training, and then I have a nutrition specialist cert. I have I'm currently working on a couple like just pregnancy specific courses, but all through ACE.
Yeah, and then I'm NASM, and then like we've been using a lot because like I'm a full-time nurse, so I've been using like a lot of that background for like hormone and yeah.
So are you guys utilizing like your local base? Like for you being a nurse, some of the most unhealthiest people are healthcare professionals, because my wife's in that field, so it's a very easy plug to get in. Like, are you guys utilizing that for like local outreach?
So yes and no. Like we've talked about this, and like that's one of the reasons why we know we need somebody to help us is like, for me personally, like I have a lot of like my coworkers who are our clients or who have been our clients, but they have a lot of like expectations, like, oh well, she's my friend, she's my coworker, so she'll do this for free, or she'll do this for like no money, or whatever it may be. And so it's shocking to them if I'm like, yeah, no, it's 100, like to them $150 a month is like, what the fuck, like you're my friend, why would I pay you $150 a month? So that's like one of the things that I know I have to get over. And you know, like a lot of like Maisha's friends are our clients that are paying $75 a month too. So it's just one of those things that we know that we have to get over. But one of the reasons why we wanted to bring in an outside person to help us is we want to be able to expand past just having clients that we know. Like we want to be able to have clients that we don't know that are in different states that, you know, have found us through social media. Because I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's not nearly as awkward asking some rando, hey, I want $300 a month, than it is to ask like a girl I see 4 times a week.
100%. So the first thing I'd say is I've had that same conversation with friends before. So I've been a master level trainer for over 15 years. I'm a men's IPE pro, speed and agility specialist. So you have to take into consideration your guys' professions as well as your certifications, because the wealth of knowledge you two have counts toward the value that you're bringing. Okay. So when individuals used to come to me and be like, hey, my man, I've been with you for 8 months, I feel like I deserve a discount. You have to learn to have that conversation. Okay, so if you're my friend, you should want to support my business, not try to get over on it. Right. So that's the first conversation that you have. And then secondly, hey, this is what I do for a living. This is what I'm actually trying to transition to. I'm assuming you guys eventually you want to get to the point where you can do this full time. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. That's the end goal. And that's why we're coming to you, because we're in that position. We're like, yeah, let's give these memberships on like the low to be competitive, and people are going to want to sign on. And then we're like, oh wait, like this is actually something we want to do full time. And like we're going to have hundreds of clients to even be close to being able to be at that point. So
Like at this
100%.
rate, yeah.
If we don't change our pricing.
exactly.
So you have to be comfortable with understanding I'm probably going to lose a couple people that might not be able to see the value that I bring. So when you have those conversations with those individuals who, let's say, for instance, are getting incredible results, it's going to make it crazy, like random names. Say Tiffany, like you ask them yes, no questions. There's not any, opinions. So, hey, when you came aboard, our goal was to lose 15 to 20 pounds in X amount of time. How we accomplish that? Yes. Okay, awesome. Previously, your range of motion was da 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 da. You had specific injuries. How do you feel like, have we improved that? Yes. Okay. Have you increased your overall strength, your overall balance, stability, whatever it is you guys are testing them for? If all the answers are yes, I'd say cool. So Tiffany, my question to you is, why would I be giving you a discount? Instead, should I be raising that rate? Because I'm proving that I'm providing continuous testimonials. So those people that are willing to pay significantly less and you had them for extended periods of time, great. They weren't worthless. They say they gave you resources for testimonies. I'd probably get them on. Testimonies aren't just physical, it's also what they did, what you did for individuals based on like mental mindset shifts, things of that nature, like what they got out of the whole program. That speaks to a large demographic of people as well as just someone that lost a ton of weight or whatever the case may be. So I'd use them for that. But then I'd also kind of go into, when you're having those difficult conversations or those emails with those people, it's better to have actually the conversation is, hey, industry averages are this. We were significantly below this because we value you as a friend and we want to bring you on initially as like a beta testing group. Now we've kind of, proven that we know exactly what we're doing, blase, 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 and moving forward, our rates will be this. So if you also base it upon the current economical situations taking place, how much it costs for cost of living, things of that nature in your guys' state, so it's hard for people to want to argue that, right?
Yeah.
So the other thing is, you guys, I know you guys are doing customized macros, you're doing customized programming. Are you doing like Zoom check-ins, Loom recordings? What else do we got?
It's typically weekly check-ins. It's not video, it's just strictly like messaging back and forth. We have our clients upload weight, upload photos, and then we created a form asking about digestion. Did you hit your macros 1 out of 5? Did you hit your training 1 out of 5?
Energy levels.
Yeah, just like all those things.
Are we tracking sleep and stress levels and things of that nature as well?
Sleep.
Not like directly.
Yeah,
okay.
Not directly. Yeah.
The more things that you provide, so say for instance, if an option was maybe like video check-ins, it's going to add a more human element to it. And that's going to be a level that you can upgrade charges as well, because that's, again, personal time. And then if they were doing, let's say, check-ins for like form check-ins, if someone's really not knowing what to do, they send you a video, you send a Loom recording back, so they actually see you speaking to them. So again, that makes it more personalized. And then they are able to play that. So next time they go to execute that movement, hey, this is what I really liked about X, Y, and Z. You're hinging a lot more at this point, blah, 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 blah. But that is just another level. The other thing is I wouldn't offer them month to month at all. So to give you an example of what I do for my business, I make it very simple. Most trainers get in the rabbit hole of providing a million different options because they think at least I'll get something that's better than nothing. That's actually the wrong way to think. I want you to think of it as, for me, I'll go 4, 8, 12. That's your choices. 4 months, 8 months, 12 months. Okay. So each month that they sign on longer, there's like an incentive. So for instance, if I was going, my 4-month program is equivalent to $450 per month. My 8-month program is equivalent to $375. My 12-month is equivalent to $350. They see the numbers dwindling down. So guess where 95% of my people are signing between that 8 and 12. I have like maybe 2 people on a 4-month. The thing why that works very well is 4 months gives you more habit change. 8 to 12 is like a lifestyle change. So the more that I have them, they feel like they're getting a discounted rate. In all actuality, they're paying me for a longer period of time. I have more sustainable income, so I know exactly how to chart that and what's coming in and what's going out. And then more importantly, I'm getting them those type of results. Then after that time, these people feel like we've created a friendship, and it's hard to say no to a friend,
Sure.
especially when they're getting results. So then I can say, when it comes down to their 8 or 12 months, it's not, hey, what do you think? Should we keep going? It's, hey, we've executed X, Y, and Z. I'm super excited. So the next phase of our program is going to be blase, blase, blase. So you're basically painting out a picture again for what the following for 8 or 12 months are. And then you let them determine which one that's going to be for them. So, hey, based upon our results and based upon where you originally wanted to be at, it's going to, my professional opinion is we go for a minimum of at least 4 more months. I'm going to take 10% off, or I'm going to give you 2 months of additional free coaching. So you're incentivizing to stay with you. And plus they see, wow, he's really working with me, or they're working with me, and they value me. So I do check-ins. Me personally, I'll say I have specific days to check in. It takes 2 minutes to send a text. I'll send texts regularly. So they're like, oh man, I send voice memos more than I do text. People love to hear someone else's voice. So all those little things add up to like long-term wins. And then they're not shocked when the year later my prices bump up because I'm staying in line with the competition. I put that in my text like, hey, due to the industry averages, this is what I've been charging. This is where, we're going at. Does that make sense so far?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So give them less options, and then use your, let's say monthly, just the monthly track. If someone can't afford you guys' coaching in general, you'd say, hey, I totally get that. So obviously your nutrition is going to be probably first and foremost. Let's offer this, I'll send you over a macro ebook. So I have a macro ebook. I get it's like 60 pages. They spend $250. Yeah, they have it for free, but what do most people do when they have that? They're used to tracking it. It just goes to waste anyway. So I'm not really losing money. They're not pushing that out. But then I follow up with them 2 weeks later and say, hey, how's that ebook been going? What have you learned from it? Oh, you know what? This is a lot harder than I thought on my own. Okay, cool. So where are we at financially? Are we able to kind of get resourceful, find some places where we can make this fit now? Because people will either, if they don't invest in their health and fitness today, they inevitably invest in their illness tomorrow. And that's where we're at right now. So if you can kind of paint that picture for them, hey, we've been stuck here for quite some time. How much longer are you willing to sit here? Right? So now we have them, you're not just selling them a macro service or a program, you're selling them the whole coaching aspect of it. Sure. And then those little things like the macro books or a one-time macro set is just going to be a very small downsell just to get their foot in the door and get them interested. Because if they buy that from you, they're going to start following you a lot more.
Right.
Cool. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Awesome. So outside of that, it sounds like our biggest challenge is marketing to like organic marketing, correct? Outside of the people that you guys are.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think that, and kind of just like a business structure, like we are good at what we do. Like we have proved that through all of our clients. We are not, like, we don't have any background in business. Like we're going as we like learn, and it's just hard when you're just reading on the internet, as you know, like,
yeah. And like Maisa put it, like we were talking the other day, and like we were talking about how like we're constantly on the defensive side of things. Like we are very like reactive, whereas we need to be more proactive and be on the offense and have like a set plan and not be like scrambling, Sunday nights trying to get X, Y, and Z together for, our client starting that Monday or whatever. Like we both acknowledge and know that we need to be better in that aspect. It's just coming up with like a game plan and holding ourselves accountable for that.
Yeah. So I think, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. And I think it's like, we have a set like amount of responsibilities a week. We have check-ins, we have 45 clients, a majority of them do check-in weekly. So it's like, we know we have to do that. We spend a lot of time on that. We both work full-time jobs. So it's like every moment we can, we try to get kind of like those business tasks done. But it's like, okay, it takes us a month to open a bank account because like when we are working together, we're so busy with like the things we have to be doing each week and not the things that we have to be doing that's like a one-off, or things that we don't even really know what we're supposed to be doing. Like we don't really know, for example, what percentage we should be putting aside, what percentage we should be paying ourselves. Like we've been putting away like a third of our income for tax purposes, but what happens when we have another like cost, right? Like it's just things like that, like we need to kind of like have somebody help us and kind of give us an outline where we can say, okay, these are the things we need to accomplish. This is how we're going to get it done. And yeah, I don't know if you.
So it sounds like you guys are looking for like more of like a seamless process. You guys want guidance. You want clear expectations. almost a structured checklist. So you know exactly what to execute. You feel really confident moving forward. So each week you have directives, priorities, which things come first, which things can be on the back burner, things of that nature. Is that correct?
For sure.
Yeah.
So I think a business outline and marketing are kind of big things that we're looking for help.
Okay, cool. Did you guys got your LLC set up and everything like that?
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay, got that done. All right, cool. So outside of that, what do you feel like is going to be the biggest challenge holding you guys back? Like actually get up, because it sounds like right now we've done a lot of trial and error. So it's looking like you guys are tired of just looking stuff up. You want to make it more efficient and we can create more impact a lot faster, much more lives.
I would say time, just because like Maisha said, like we both work full time, and she's Monday through Friday, and then I work every third weekend. So it's not even like we have every weekend where we can work, and we don't want to work every weekend. I mean, that's like supposed to be, living our life too. So I think just like, even if it's like 1 to 2 hours each a day, just figuring out what we can do to make the time when we do have in-person time together more efficient. But I think time is for sure like our biggest setback right now.
Yeah, like I work a 9 to 5 job 5 days a week. I coach on top of that at F45, and then Maggie works her nursing job, which her days are all over the place. So it's like Monday through Friday, I'm pretty much just like can't talk during the day, right?
Yeah.
Maybe during lunch break, but like my job is very, like I have a lot to do. I'm in sales, like I'm constantly on calls all day. So I would absolutely say that I agree with Maggie.
Have you guys started like maybe splitting things up and maybe have your check-ins on like 2 different days? So say for instance, hypothetical, Maggie takes on Tuesdays at a certain time, you take Thursdays or Fridays at a certain time. You guys are like batching your guys' content at different times as well, to where when you guys do have that time, it's more maximized. So it's not just you guys coming together and trying to do everything at one time, but one person kind of takes their more skill set, and maybe someone's really good at the back end things, and maybe one person's really good at programming or whatever the case may be. That could be an easy way to split those up, and just for a short period of time until we get to the point where we want to get to. Then we can also start outsourcing once we start creating a certain amount of like financial income.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely think there's certain tasks that like Maggie will handle more so than I will, and then vice versa. In terms of check-ins, we both like to be in the know of like obviously everything, because we're both, so we tackle all of our clients together. That's like our whole thing is like two coaches. You get two
Sure.
coaches in this program, right? You have access to 2 people, 2 different perspectives. Like we work really hard together to come up with a solution for each client. So like, I think with the check-ins, we really thrive, like not necessarily doing it together, like sitting at a table and talking through every single one together, but more
Sure.
so like, okay, like we typically do it on a certain day, and we both like she's tackling one person, I'm doing another, and then we kind of will say, oh yeah, Ashley just dropped this amount. What do you think? I'm kind of stuck. What do you like? Let's talk about this. Let's strategize what we should do, because Kai's not dropping weight, and this doesn't make sense. It's been 3 weeks. She says she's hitting everything. There's got to be something. Let's talk. So I think we really value that. But there's, of course, going to be the check-ins that are just like the simple, like, oh yeah, drop 2 pounds, adjust macros, whatever, right?
And we are, this just like, I mean, Maisha, this is coming out of left field, but we did like kind of start to like request that people check in on different days. Like we have some people that are checking in Fridays now, so that way Sunday isn't filled with 45 people. But one thing that I just thought of is we could do like move our more like advanced people who are pretty straightforward to one day, and then Sundays when we both could be together, leave the more difficult clients to that. Like that could just be one like somewhat solution, or somewhat, something that could help us for the time being.
Yeah, but for like this whole conversation is like exactly why we need somebody.
Yeah.
Like we're like talking over, but like this is exactly what we need. We need somebody to be like, have you tried this? Because like sounds like that's not working from an outside perspective. So, yeah.
Well, the cool thing about this is you guys would have a specific one-on-one coach the entire 6 months of your program. So this is someone who's completed certified coach and mastery level. So in order for you to be a coach with us, as far as to be able to coach other coaches, you had to successfully go through both programs, which means they have a 6 or 7 figure business of their own based off the information in our course. So this is where you'd have 24/5 tech support. So outside of planning calls, outside of the initial phone call, you're able to ask as many questions as you'd like. We have a private Facebook group as well. So a lot of coaches will go in there, they'll ask questions. You'll get a ton of different answers from other coaches that are in the course as well. So you're seeing different perspectives. And then we also do weekly group calls as well. So go over on client objections, sales, marketing, client delivery. So you'll see a lot of different things that you haven't came across yet. The other day, someone just posted about they had a client that was on chemotherapy. They're trying to figure out what supplementations was okay for that person. Very unique. I've seen like a lot of different stuff in there, which you wouldn't think you'd find that on like a Facebook group, which is pretty awesome. Okay. So you're getting a lot of professionalized help, and it's not just like, oh, we're going to give you one-on-one help. There's literally around the clock, right? So we give them the weekends off, but most of our coaches are very open to answering questions even on the weekends as well. They're actually contractually obligated to answer all of your questions. So you'll have that one-on-one intimacy, so you guys understand exactly what's to be expected at all points of times. And if there's an area where we're struggling at, which there'll be a spot to where you guys are cruising great, and then all of a sudden we'll hit a roadblock. We'll know when to pivot and what to refocus on, how to get you back on track toward that specific revenue amount that you're trying to make. Now, we know you guys are just under 5K. Where would we like to see ourselves like down the road? How big are we trying to scale this thing?
Maggie, I don't know if you wanted to chime in.
I mean, we both like have talked about like in order to feel comfortable like leaving our full-time jobs and like feeling at peace with that, we would need to make like well into 6 figures each, which is like, you know, far down the road. But we both do pretty well in our jobs now, and to be able like to give that up and take this on full time, we would need to be somewhere along those lines.
And that's cool. And that's each. Yeah.
Yep. So we're both at minimum need to both be bringing in. So roughly, I'd say that for you guys to leave, you guys are collectively, this is a 50-50 ordeal. You guys are going to need to be bringing in roughly, I'd say between 12 to 15K each after like expenses and things of that nature. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Very doable. So just think about this. If you were charged, let's just say you up your rates, right? And with the level of professionalism you guys have, right? You're charging right around $400 per client. Okay. Now I want you to think about this, because if you've been charging around 100 or 75, it's like, oh my God, he's asking us to do 400. I want you to look at this math. I'm terrible at math, but I broke out my calculator because I wanted you guys to see this. Okay. So let's just say yours $400 per person. Okay. You're dividing that by 4 weeks. That's just $100 per week. And you divide that by 7 days. That's equivalent to $14.28 a day. Think about what the average American spends. What, $8 on a latte, and then whatever they buy at lunch. So they're easily right around spending close to anywhere between $8 to $12 a day anyways. So are you really asking for that much? Especially about you're giving them 2 coaches for the price of 1 almost. Think about that as well. So again, it's all about how you're marketing and setting yourself up and listing out everything that you provide. Every online coach does macros. Every online coach does some type of programming. So we just have to basically show how you guys are completely different versus somebody else. So for instance, I'm in the same boat as you guys, right? So my wife is my partner. She's a sports nutrition specialist. So that's going to be something that I can market for. If I have female clientele, she's a life coach as well. So they get me, this ugly guy, to beat them up through workouts and programming. And then they get her once a month to go over like mindset issues. My guys like it because there's certain things that men are too prideful to tell me about where they're struggling at. And my female clients don't feel comfortable telling me about certain things that involve female stuff because I'll never understand it, because I'm wired differently. I'm a man, right? But talking to another woman opens up a whole nother gateway. And that's where a lot of things can change. If we get stress under control, things of that nature, we're addressing hormones, it's a game changer, right? So those little tweaks right there is going to be different than what the majority of people are offering. And then program design, I'm doing weekly intensity techniques. I change out variations weekly based upon how their body's reacting. I'm putting them in more advanced things. So I can I can justify why I'm charging, just like you guys would easily be able to justify why your rates are, bumping up. But right now, like if you guys want to get to that point where you're able to get out of that job, that's the first thing we need to do is really understand that value that you both bring as individuals, and then that massive value you guys bring when you come together. So it's like a powerhouse, right? So if we can get that, and then people are being reminded of like what they're getting from you guys, it's going to be very easy to like justify what you're charging. And as you had said earlier, once we get people off the internet that haven't met you or aren't accustomed to being your friend right away, it's a lot easier conversation, right? Cool. So I feel like we're in a good spot. I know right now you guys are like, man, it's good that we're talking this all out, but you guys are in a really solid spot. Each of you bring a lot to the table. The main thing that I'm seeing right now is definitely understanding like changing out our pricing. So also changing out like what we're offering, not necessarily changing what we're offering, but your length of terms. I wouldn't even be offering month to month. That's just a waste of your time because people will do that, and it should.
For sure. Yeah, we know that. That's something we've been talking about since day one. I just think like it's another task that we just haven't gotten to, right?
For sure.
So
it sounds like we're both looking for financial freedom to be able to walk away from our current full-time jobs. We want flexibility and time to be able to do the things that we really want to do. We want to live life. We don't want to have to work the weekends if we don't want to. We want to have the autonomy to do whatever we want when we want, correct? And really serve and fulfill our passions. Is that about what we're looking for here?
Yeah,
sure.
Cool. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go over a brief presentation. Then we're going to actually dive exactly into what's in our modules. The things that I feel like you guys already have nailed down, I'll kind of just skip over. I'll tell you like, I think you guys are good here. We'll double check and then we'll move forward. Cool?
Sounds good.
All right. Let me know when you can see my screen and we'll have a little fun.
Yep.
All right, cool. So as you guys know, we're the Next Level Coaching Academy. This is a big deal. We're accredited through the Better Business Bureau. We got a rating of an A out of a possible A+. It's really hard to figure out who's legitimate in this space nowadays, but this kind of solidifies it. We're also backed by 3 of the largest certification companies in the world, ACE, NASM, and ISSA, okay? On the success ladder, we've got 2 tiers. We've got Certified Coach, we've got Mastery. Certified Coach is great for individuals such as yourself who started an online fitness business. They got some pieces of the puzzle, but they need to help figuring out to put it all together. The information in this course can get us from 0 up to 20K per month in as little as 6 months if so desired. Mastery levels for individuals who have been coaching for quite some time, they're already at that 20K mark and they're looking to scale to 7 figures. So they're kind of removing themselves from the coaching aspect and becoming more of a CEO of their own program, if that makes sense. So really where we're currently at, I know we're kind of in those initial stages, we're really going to focus on the certified coach aspect right now. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So the point of this program is it's going to be 6 months long, and we're really getting you a successful, thriving business off the ground. More importantly, we're going to help you become a marketing guru. So we make sure we attract the right type of clients to provide the right sustainable income. And we'll even teach you how to make your first couple of hires so we can scale past that 15 to 20K mark. Support. We talked about this earlier. You're going to have an assigned one-on-one coach the entire 6 months. Again, this is a person that completed both certified and mastery level, so they're battle tested. You'll have a customized game planning call with that individual, so you both will get on the phone to go over the most efficient way to get you to where you want to be. And then every 2 weeks, you'll have a private one-on-one coaching call. It's 30 minutes, very similar to this. Revisit the game plan, make any necessary changes, receive feedback, get very specific instructions on what you should be executing for the next 2 weeks. 5 times a week of group support calls that'll accommodate your 9 to 5s, client objection, client delivery, mindset issues, sales tactics, you name it, we go over all of it. And then again, 24/5 tech support, which is crucial. We also understand that becoming an entrepreneur is exciting, but it's extremely frustrating at times, as you guys have been able to see. So we help with what we call the Zenpreneur method. We go over mindset calls. We do breath work and meditation sessions as well to ensure you're in a good headspace to move forward with your businesses. As far as the resources go, you'll have the Certified Coach course curriculum. You'll have that Zenpreneur method we discussed. We'll even give you agency outsourcing options when you're ready to make specific hires or upgrade certain parts of your program. And we also offer an additional certification for people that don't have one. That's no additional charge. You guys wouldn't have to do that, but it's there if you want it. As far as the course itself, 59 total modules. Each module will have an overview link. It'll also be associated with videos. The first thing we want to focus on is how to get you your first client through us in 21 days or less. This is what we call our activation point. So 73% of our students get their client in month 1. On average, it's just taking them 1 week to do so. So the ones that get their client in month 1, by the end of month 4 are averaging 8K per month. The individuals that don't get their client in month 1, but by the end of month 4 through us are averaging 6,500. So just to be a mediocre average person in our program, you can expect to make 6,500 to 8K per month. Do you guys find yourselves average?
Yeah. Right
No.
now.
She said, yeah.
Right
I was
now.
about to say, Maggie, no.
Right now we are.
Well, yeah,
That's
before.
why we're here.
Yeah, for sure. Maggie, you threw me off with that one. I was like, she said yes.
I know.
And it's recorded. Too good.
Certified Coach Directory, I want you to view this as onboarding material that'll help you become a better student. It really shows you how to maximize the program. The success roadmap is pretty cool. It takes you by 5K increments on what you need to reach certain levels of success. So from 0 to 5K, what do we need to execute? 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. They all come with videos. There's zero guesswork behind that, so you'll always know what's expected of you. I'm going to skip over the certification aspect. You guys are solid there. Move into the mindset and lifestyle module. Anxiety, fear of failure, things of that nature. Those are all natural, normal feelings, but how can we move forward with our business? We've also identified the top 10 struggles that fitness entrepreneurs have, but we've also associated that with solutions. Target setting, we're going to create your 3-year vision, your 1-year vision, your 3-month vision. We're going to deep dive into your goals. Administration systems, I believe you guys already mentioned you have quite a bit of this already set up. So it sounds like you already set up with Stripe. Do you guys have anything for people to book calls yet, like Typeform or Calendly?
No, we don't currently.
Okay, so this will help you out. So it sounds like you got a piece of this, but Typeform Calendly will allow people to be able to book calls with you guys. And you guys are already using Trainerize, so you're cool there. And to give you some context on these overview links, each module will have one of these. If you were to click on this, this will take you in written tutorial style on exactly what to do for each.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Okay, so this is really cool. When I went through it, I'd read first, then I'd go back and watch the video. So let's pretend you wanted to set up Typeform. Okay, we'll click on this. So it's showing you step by step exactly what to do. So there's zero guesswork. It's very tutorial style as well. Same thing with your financial system, which it sounds like you guys got the majority of that set up. You already got your LLC. You guys do understand already how to like do QuickBooks and things of that nature, when to pay quarterly taxes, when to pay yourself.
No, so like that's part of what we need help with.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So we'll actually cover all that in this module as well.
Awesome.
So we'll help you tell you when to open a business bank account, how to pay quarterly taxes, how to pay yourself, examples of business write-offs, business liability insurance, health insurance, retirement, you name it. We deep dive into it as well in here. So there's zero guesswork.
Awesome.
And then identifying your ideal challenge. This is once we kind of figure out the problem that we're going to be solving for individuals. It kind of sounds like you guys are like right on top of that right now. Then we can create our offer and pricing. So this is where I feel like step 1 for you guys is to really understand how dope you two are, right? How amazing you guys look, like what the value you bring. Is this going to be a more do it for you, do it with you, or do it yourself program? The more you do for individuals, higher the ticket offer. So the more that you offer, you can ramp up prices a little bit. And that will be established upon your length of terms. We help create your high ticket offers. We help with the structure of your pricing. We even teach you how to create downsells and discounts when applicable. Okay. Marketing overviews. This is where the majority of individuals struggle. We're going to give you 8 different lessons to really maximize your marketing capabilities, because we're going to show you how to market on an organic basis for all things Instagram, all things Facebook,
Awesome.
and even all things TikTok. Okay, so there's more to it than just randomly posting 5 times a day. There's very specific strategy involved. We even get all the way down to the hashtag use, things of that nature as well.
I have a quick question on that. So is that updated pretty often, or is this, because I know like as I have a background in marketing, things change drastically really quick.
100%. So as they add updates to this program, this would update in real time.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Now, you don't have to use all 3 platforms. You just got to think about where your ideal clients hang out. So for instance, I market to men, high level businessmen 35 to 50. I don't mess with TikTok. If you're 35 to 50 hanging out on TikTok as a man, we got problems, right? So the majority of my people I'm not messing with TikTok at all. Okay. Now, have you guys heard of Canva? Have you started utilizing that?
Oh yeah, we're heavy in Canva.
Nice. I love it. Cool. Next is going to be lead generation. So this is going to be like one of the problems we discussed. Where we're going to find all these leads. We believe there's 6 different ways to do this. The first is called earned media. I want you to think of this as like inbound marketing. We'll give you 11 strategies to bring more people specifically to you, to kind of pique their interest. Okay. Next, conversation to calls. This is outbound marketing. Young people call this in the DMs. Right? So this is you reaching out to individuals first. We'll give you specific scripts. We'll give you conversation to call examples, but more importantly, we're going to show you where to find all these leads on all 3 platforms and how to build and nurture these relationships. Now, again, outbound marketing is not just DMing, it's really getting creative and utilizing your local community, okay? Referral strategy, the easiest way to grow your business. So utilizing those friends and families that you guys have been helping with and getting massive results. We're gonna give you 6 different lessons to really incentivize them to bring you in more referrals. And then when you're hitting about 6K per month, this is when things start to get a little bit interesting. Now we can start thinking about hiring on an appointment setter. This would be the person that does all of your DMing and booking all of your calls for you. This would save you guys 10 to 15 hours alone per week. So we'll show you how to interview them, how to hire them, how to manage them on a day-to-day basis, and how to track their level of efficiency as well. Now, when you're hitting about 8 to 10K per month, that's when we're gonna start running ads. So this is where we'll show you how to run ads on all things Facebook and Instagram. And if at this point you're running ads and you didn't have a DMer yet, you probably won't need a DMer because you'll have so many leads coming in. You guys could probably not have to really do a whole lot of DMing. You guys are just going to be kind of answering sales lead calls. From there, we have owned media. This is all things email or subscription-based marketing. So think of Facebook groups, YouTube, podcasts, anything involving an email or subscription. We're going to show you how to maximize this, get more clients. Certified coach affiliate strategy. At this point in time, you'd have quite a few clients you guys would have. But you're gonna have a handful that you consider like your rock star A+ clients that are just killing it. They're listening, they're executing. We want to utilize them and we want them to be posting on their social media about you guys, bringing more brand awareness. We also want to use them as brand ambassadors to speak to other people who might be on the fence of joining, so they can be like, yeah, here's my testimonial. This is what I got from them. It's like a warm plug to get them to come in. And then another example, again, think outside of the box. I'm partnered with a local supplement company out here. So I'll have my clients on specific supplementation. That supplement company in return will give me 30 referrals a month plus discounts because I'm supporting their business. So anyone walking into a supplement store is usually somewhat health conscious. So I have very warm leads at all points in times. Sales overview and fundamentals. Major, this is going to be like your bread and butter. It sounds like you're already in sales. So this is going to be, we're going to help you like really master the last piece of that. So we're going to give you 10 different lessons to really maximize your sales capabilities, because we're going to set up 2 types of phone calls. The first of which is what we call the meet and greet, 10 to 15 minute phone call to figure out, do I really want to work with this person? Can I actually solve their problems? And are they an ideal client for me? You're not going to want to accept everyone with the pulse, right? So we want to get away with some of the people that aren't willing to like pay your worth also. So we'll go over your confirmation processes. We'll give you specific scripts. And we'll give you real-time examples with our coaches. This will lead to our sales call. So this is where we're trying to lock down that lead. We're doing a lot of objection handling. We're going to give you specific scripts. We're going to give you our entire objection handling web. We're going to teach you how to create downsells and discounts. This will be massive for you guys, creating financing options for people who normally couldn't afford it. So some people might not be able to afford your updated prices, right? But we'll find a way to get them in through financing. That'll be huge for you. And then we have follow-up procedures to really lock down that lead. Now, once you make that sale, we want to track your progress. We want to make sure there's predictable data every single month. So we'll give you our resources in order to track this efficiently. Onboarding is going to be that weird lag time between, you got their money, you're building out their program, what happens for them in the meantime? So communication needs to be on point. So we want to make sure this is an enjoyable experience. There's no buyer's remorse. We want to get them hyped up. It's like their first 30 days in your program. Now, client delivery is the fun stuff, the week-to-week process and how you're delivering services. So really ensuring that you guys have a smooth, efficient program laid out. It's easy to understand. It's based upon their unique goals. Communication, again, is going to be massive. So this will happen to you no matter how good of a trainers you guys are. People are going to ghost you. They're going to quit. They're not going to listen. How can we get them to execute at a high level? Typically, when they're not doing what they're supposed to, we're missing the mark on something. They might want more touch points. They want a larger community base. They want to talk shit about your guys' late day with other clients, right? They just want to have fun. They also want other resources or strategies. And some of them just want to be incentivized to do what's already expected of them. So sometimes we could talk about finding ways to give them gifts or little surprises. But more important, we're going to give you resources and different options to get them to start executing again at a very high level. Customer support, the not so fun side of things, cancellations, refund requests. How do we mitigate these issues for the upcoming months? But how do we track this? Now, if this is done correctly, this can lead to massive referrals for you guys. So I had a woman who wanted to cancel hers because she was getting divorced. Typically not lines for breaking a contract for fitness. I let her out of that. 2 weeks later, she referred me 5 people, 4 of which signed. And literally last week, she signed for an 8-month contract. So if you treat people the right way, this comes back to you. Retention, we want to keep people for long periods of time, but we want to advance them to higher levels of your programming. We'll give you strategies for that. We'll teach you how to track it. And when you're hitting about 10 to 12K per month, we'll teach you guys how to bring on a virtual assistant. This will be the person that does all of your back-end administration work for you. So again, it saves you a lot of time. So we'll show you how to hire them. We'll show you how to manage them on a day-to-day basis. We'll track their level of efficiency, and we'll give you our resources on where to find them if and when you want to make that hire. Now, when you guys are hitting about 12 to 15K per month, we need to think about possibly bringing on an assistant coach. This will be the individual that works directly underneath you guys. They take on their own clients, but you get paid a portion. So whoever you guys decide to bring on, they need to match your guys' morals, values, because again, they represent you and your company. So we're going to teach you how to hire them, how to manage them, and keep them in line with your company vision. Also keep them motivated. Now, I know I did a ton of talking. We'll do a quick recap and we'll answer any questions. Cool?
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So the program itself is going to be 6 months long. You're going to have that customized game planning call. You'll have that private one-on-one coach the entire 6 months. You'll have one-on-one coaching calls every 2 weeks. You're going to have that Facebook community plus CEO trainings, 5 times a week of group support calls, 24/5 tech support, and the business course curriculum. Is there anything you feel like we're missing here?
No.
How are we feeling so far? We liking it? We love it? We hate it? What are our thoughts?
No, it's good. I think it definitely is what we're looking for.
Beautiful. Did you guys get a chance to check out any testimonials?
I did briefly on social media, like through the little highlights.
Cool. So let's skip over that. Let's go to the client averages. A lot of people want to know what the basic person's doing. Okay. So this is pretty cool. I know you guys are both trying to leave your jobs, right? On average, it's taking people just 10.6 weeks to do that, to go full-time on their online fitness business. Okay. So if we do things the right way, is it possible? Absolutely. Again, of the students who hit a 10K month, it takes them on average just 13 weeks to do so. Just over 90 days, if you guys are really dedicated and disciplined, we could really start making some massive changes to our program and doubling what you're currently making. And the students who stay with us 12 months have 97 clients on their roster on average. So that the average people that have 97 clients, they're averaging $366,000 a year. That's crazy. So think if you guys had 97 clients and we're charging roughly around $400, that would be like $38,000 a month, which would be great for you guys, especially if we're both trying to make 6 figures and get out of where we're currently at. And then our students are grading the program a 4.5 out of 5 on average, which means they're getting massive results for their respectful businesses. Any questions on the averages?
No.
Cool. What questions you guys have for me?
I guess like one thing I was going to mention is that we are planning on hiring a coach. We actually wanted to hire one of our clients. She was their very first client. She's already a coach. She just has to go through her like certification and everything. We're hoping to hire her by like end of year. So that's something that we didn't mention, but we're like really trying to do. And then what else is going to ask? I guess price is a big thing for, I'm sure you're going to get into that. And then, I guess that's like the next thing.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that you guys are hiring someone that you already know. So it's someone that you already trust. So that's exactly what I did. I utilize people that I have been in business with for years, previous trainers, because you already know what you're going to get out of them. So it just comes down to payment. So you guys not got to think about when you're hiring someone. For me, like he was extremely knowledgeable, but I was doing all the business as far as getting him the clients, taking the phone calls. So if you break it down, I'm really doing 60% of the work. So for my business, I'm taking a 60-40 split because I'm doing all the legwork to get him there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what I'll do for people that maybe are kind of new or green in the area, they might have had their certification, but it's kind of different. If you remember the first time you got your certification, it was exciting, but you're like, oh shit, now what, right? So I had some programs already pre-laid out. So all they had to do was like, give me the person's name, what their goals are. Hey, this is what they're going to run with for the first X amount of time. So I was already doing their programming for them as well. So when I'm doing that, that's more like a 60-30 split because I'm doing literally 90% of the work. You know, I'm giving them 90% of the work. I'm doing 90% of the work, but they're still getting a decent payout, right? So as they got more comfortable, they could start programming on their own. I felt comfortable. I'd have to double check it for the first few months to ensure that it met my standards and protocols, because that person represents you too. So we want to make sure that whoever is underneath you guys is going to give you a solid name. Like that's going to be important. As far as pricing goes, we're going to get to that. There's going to be a payment plan option, and there's going to be a paid in full option. So payment plan, we just put a down payment down. We spread it out over 6 months, or we can do bi-monthly payments, whatever the case may be. Paid in full, we save quite a bit of money if we just paid all up front. Pretty simple. We also have extended payment plans. We have financing options as well. So depending on how much of a priority this is for you guys, no matter where you guys are sitting at financially, there's something for everybody. Cool.
Perfect.
Now, before we move forward with that, I wanted to ask you guys, did you guys get an opportunity to look over the guarantees?
No.
I did not either.
Cool. So I'll actually show you that again at the end of the presentation as well, but we have 2 guarantees. So a lot of companies will have a money back guarantee. We have a money back guarantee, plus we guarantee you're going to make a specific amount of money. So no company really does that. So the first one is a revenue guarantee. We're going to guarantee you guys within the first 90 days, you guys will hit an 8K month, or you get 25% of your contract refunded. Now, obviously there's terms and conditions. We actually have to try a little bit, right? So we got to attend our game planning call. We have to attend all of our one-on-one coaching calls, attend at least 2 group calls per week, okay? Complete the action on how to get your first client in 21 days module, which breaks down to like 100 DM messages a week, which is pretty standard. It's about 20 per day. You would also have to charge the bare minimum suggested prices, which is $300. And you'd have to have 50% of your course material completed and no late payments. So if you do all that, utilize all of our resources and show up and just do the work, we're guaranteeing you in your first 90 days, you will hit an 8K month. Okay, I don't know any companies that can guarantee that. Second one, we have an investment guarantee, and it says we're going to 3 times your investment during your enrollment term or get 100% refund. So terms and conditions are very similar. Besides, you have to complete 100% of your course material, have no late payments, charge the bare minimum suggested prices, attend all of your attend your game planning call, attend all of your one-on-one coaching calls, at least 1 or 2 group calls per week. So pretty standard stuff. If you're going to invest in something like this, I hope you would do just the basics, right? So again, you do that, we're guaranteeing your level of success, okay? So with that said, before we jump in, can you guys kind of remind me of what online coaching will do for you two as individuals?
So for me, like, do you mean like in our personal lives?
Yeah.
Like what success would mean?
Yeah, like what would this give for you? So like, I know that you guys mentioned you wanted to leave the job, like time.
Yeah, so for me personally, like I'm in the process of trying to start a family. So like to me, that would give me the freedom to be able to stay at home if I wanted to stay at home, and like be able to not miss like, you know, sports games and stuff like that, because I'm watching now as a lot of the people who I started my nursing career with are having kids and having families. They're having to miss like all of these events because of work, and I don't want to be in a situation where I have to do that. And like my husband just got out of the military, so that was like his step towards, you know, not having to miss stuff. And so I'm hoping to eventually make that transition so I don't have to miss, you know, big life events and those sorts of things.
Love that.
Yeah, I think for me, I feel like worked 3 jobs my entire life pretty much. So to be able to have kind of like the freedom to not be like on a 9-to-5 schedule is huge for me, and focusing on something I actually love and passionate about. I think that's really it for me.
I love that. Well, what was your guys' aha moment where you're like, yeah, online coaching, this is what we want to do. Like we want a training business. When was that for you guys?
Oh gosh, this is a fun story.
Yeah.
So I'll start it and then Maggie can chime in too, but we're also, I think you said you're a bodybuilder. Is that what you were saying earlier? I couldn't.
Yeah, men's IPE pro.
Yeah. So we both are bikini competitors. And so we bonded that way. We've actually known each other forever. And then one day I saw, and like we weren't friends or anything, but we had each other on Facebook. And then I saw her post competition photos and I was like, I need to do that. Like I always loved lifting, all of that. So I reached out to her, and after that we've been like so close. And then Maggie, you can continue.
Yeah. So we were on the same like bodybuilding team, and I got asked to coach with them. So I coached with them for like 7 or 8 months. And they started kind of talking to Maisha about potentially coming on as a coach. And so her and I were just talking, and I was like, listen, I'm going to be totally upfront with you. Like they do certain things that I don't stand behind and I don't feel comfortable doing. So I've been thinking about leaving. Like I don't necessarily want to leave online coaching. So then we kind of talked about like, hey, you and I kind of have the same background. Like her and I, you know, we don't have that like genetically gifted body that a lot of like online coaches do. Unfortunately, you know, they're like, oh, if you do XYZ, you'll look like me. Like Maisha and I both had to work our asses off to get to the point where we were at. So we've both kind of bonded over that. And we're also not the type of people who are eating clean 100% of the time, or not drinking alcohol, or not going out, or not doing this. And so we wanted to be able to portray that in our online, you know, coaching, is that like you can, you know, go get drunk off margaritas if you want to and still hit your goals eventually. Like you don't have to use like whole foods 100% of the time. Like we were trying to get that message across. And I think that's one of the things that like we've done a decent job with. Like people know that we both have to work hard to look how we look, and we're, you know, not naturally like that. So I think that's one thing that kind of sometimes sets us aside, is like people look at like these people who are shredded 24/7 and they're like, oh, okay, whatever. So yeah, that was kind of how we started it. And we were like, yeah, let's do this together. Like it'll be fun. Her and I literally think the exact same. Like we bring different things to the table, but when it comes to like plan of action for certain clients, like I'll be thinking something and say it to my husband, and then I'll call her and be like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? And she says the exact same thing I just said. So that's one of the things that we didn't know going into it that was going to be like that, but we have very similar mindsets in terms of what we want to do with certain clients and difficult situations and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Just to add to that, I think we work, like we've been doing this since, I don't know, like October, where we actually like launched. But like, not to say like we have the same thoughts or anything, but we agree to some extent on pretty much everything. If we don't agree on something, we talk it out. And so I think we work extremely well together. I just think we are both good at very similar things. And I think that that's where we're lacking, right? There's all this stuff that we both don't know. So yeah, I think that's why we're just kind of reaching out for help.
I love that. So the people that are the most successful that I've seen that come through here, they encompass the 3 C's. They're committed, they're coachable, and they're always consistent. So do you guys feel like you guys are 100% committed to doing whatever it takes to be successful and to show up every single day, even on the days you don't want to?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I love
100%.
that. And then with you guys being competitors, I already know you have to have a level of being coachable, right? Adjusting the game plan, right? When things take a U-turn, like, are we willing to like take some hard constructive criticism and turn it into like something that we can actually do something with, right? Create massive impact for not just yourselves, but for others, right?
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
And then consistent, right? Same thing with prepping. You have to be consistent. You have to do every little bit of due diligence to make sure that this thing really pops off the way that you want. Do you guys feel like you're at a space right now where you're willing to do whatever that takes?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. So let's talk about it. Pricing, right? Everyone's favorite part. Like he bullshitted long enough. Hit me with it. What's the price? Okay. It's only $100,000 and your left kidney.
Yeah.
There's a payment plan of $7,500 and there's a paid in full option that saves you $700 at $6,800. Out of those two, which do you think works best for you guys?
So wait, payment plan, what did you say?
The payment plan is $7,500, so that's like something where we put a down payment and then we'd spread it out over 6 months, or you could do bi-monthly or paid in full. You just pay that bad boy up front. You
Oh,
save
okay.
$7.
I gotcha. Okay, cool. We would have to probably talk about like which one would work best, but this is actually, so this is across 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this looks a lot better
This
than
is
I
much
thought.
better than what we were thinking.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I was
We're
trying to say,
feeling
but
What were you guys thinking?
we have no idea. We were just
We were thinking worst possible case scenario, like, are we gonna have to sell a kidney to do this? We're willing, but no.
So to
Yeah.
kind of give you guys an
sounds-
example, of like maybe what the average student does. So you guys are great because you guys are working together. So most people don't have the opportunity to split costs, so to speak.
Sure.
But what the average individual would do was put down like maybe two grand if they're doing a payment plan. That would take that down to 5,500. You divide that over 6 months. That's equivalent to $917 per month. And I don't want you to think of that as money. I want you to think of that as bodies needed for impact. So that would be equivalent to you guys needing about 3 to 5 clients, depending on what you're charging. Okay, pretty simple. Now, if you guys are comfortable, I'd be also willing to offer you guys something that I normally don't do. We could just take that paid in full and turn it into a 2-payment split. So today we could just put down 3,400, and I'd give you guys 90 days to pay that second 3,400 off.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to talk. I mean, we can talk to you tonight, but we'll have to talk like just off the phone because it's not just one of us making decisions.
Yeah.
Now, if you guys want, you guys could totally mute me. I'm taking notes because it's the end of my day. So if you guys want to mute me and talk about it, I'm more than happy to do that. You guys take as much time as you want. You guys cool with that?
Yeah, I mean, she'll probably have to talk to her husband too, but this is definitely something that we're like very much like wanting to do. It's
Cool.
just
I love that.
Which
And I think I know from coming from like just from what we've talked about previously, like I don't think that there's a bad option. It's just like I feel very good about moving forward, but it's just which payment option.
Yeah,
Maisha, I don't know if we're on the same page, like not to just throw you under the bus or whatever.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Cool. Does your husband know that you're on the call tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Does he know like what your challenges are so far to get you to where you want to be?
Yeah. So he's in like marketing and logistics. So he kind of will help give input here and there, but yes, he's well aware. He's
Okay,
one of
cool.
our clients.
I love that. Cool. So do you mind if I challenge you guys a little on something like that when we're bringing in spouses? Is that cool?
For sure.
Because I'm just going to tell you from a man's point, men are always logical. Like there's no like emotion. It's just really facts, like numbers, right? So if he already kind of knows what you guys are going through, he clearly supports both of you. And he's a client, for heaven's sake, right? So if you're at a point to where this can create that life that you guys both want, allow you to build a family, allow you to step away from the job, allow you to bring in more financial opportunities that'll not just benefit you guys, but obviously your families that you guys are going to be investing in. Do you think that he would be opposed to you taking action?
No, I mean, he 100%, like he knows that we're having this call. He knows that like he doesn't necessarily know you personally, but like he knows that we're on this call and like this is who we ideally wanted to work with. No, I mean, I'm sure he'll be.
And to give you an idea, we were referred by a close friend who has like really been successful in the program. So like we are excited and all that. And I love your sales tactic because I'm a salesperson. So I'm like, I love this, sitting back and I'm like, oh, is that what I sound like on my calls all day? I love it. But yeah, we appreciate it. We're really excited. I guess next steps, what do we need to do? I guess we need to talk like separately and kind of discuss payment options, but yeah, what are the next steps on your end?
So if we decided that we wanted to move forward, we figured out which option was going to work the best for you two. Next thing would be is I would get like we collect payment through, we do waive, we set up a client agreement. So everything that I promised you would be an agreement for you guys. Okay. We'd go over that together and then we collect the down payment or whatever option you're going to do with. Okay. And then from there, say for instance, if we got going later tonight or tomorrow, you'd have access first thing tomorrow morning. So you have an onboarding packet. A person would text you with all your guys' course access as well. So you guys would both have that individually. So you can utilize that. You'd set up your game planning call. There'd be an area to where you guys can schedule your first game planning call. And then from there, it's game on.
Perfect.
So
And
you don't have to wait for your coaching call to start. That's where a lot of people make the mistake. I would say, hey, get in right away and knock out as much as you can.
sure.
So you guys would be ahead of the ballgame. And the cool thing about this is this program, the price dropped because this will turn to a 4-month program here in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So you're actually getting 2 additional months of support for the cost of a 4-month program, which is pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Cool.
Sounds great.
Now,
Yeah.
Now, as far as my sales tactics, the part of that is a sales tactic, right? But some of it is just literally if I know that someone is already, approved through their significant other and they already know what to go moving forward with. My next thing, obviously you guys need to talk, but what I would say is, hey, if we know this checks off all of our boxes, we're already 100% committed, right? We both feel very strongly about this. We have friends in this, right? Why don't we move forward and invite him to the game planning call so he knows exactly what's taking place?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask one more question. Oh, when it comes down to the the coach that we kind of work with one-on-one, how does that, how are they placed? And I guess, is it we choose who we think is best, or you guys kind of evaluate from your end based on everything we gave you, and then you guys kind of place a coach? What does that look like?
Yep, I go over really both your guys' personality. And then I also ask, hey, your learning styles. So for instance, when I had a coach, I didn't want someone that was over the top cheerful. I just want someone to say, hey, you suck at this, go fix it. That's how I operate. Okay.
Sure.
Some people are like, hey, you're doing extremely well. We could just tweak a little things. Kind of, it all depends on your personality. If you want someone high energy, very vibrant, we have that. If you want someone's cutthroat, we got that. Whatever your learning style is, I ask you guys what you prefer, and then I match you with that.
Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Well, I think Maggie and I can probably hop on a call tonight, and then we can message you either tonight or tomorrow morning and kind of go from there. But we're looking forward to it. It looks awesome. Exactly what we expected, and we're excited to get started.
Yeah, why don't you guys shoot me a text later on tonight and let me kind of know which direction you guys work best for you. And then if you guys want to look at your schedules, our next phone call would literally take 5 to 10 minutes just to get everything set up. So if you guys have an idea on what you're available for, we can go ahead and schedule that.
Okay, sounds good.
So yeah, I work 12-hour shifts. So I work Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is my birthday, but I am more than willing to hop on a call at some point on Thursday, and then I work Friday too. So it would just have to be after 7 p.m. And I work an hour and 10 minutes away, so I can be in the car. I don't care. Obviously, I'm in the car now, but
is that okay with you?
Yeah. So if you guys, do you guys both want to be a part of it? All we're doing is everything that I'm promising you guys is just going on an agreement.
Okay.
So
yeah, and I can also most of the time I work in labor and delivery, so if I'm delivering, I'm shit out of luck. But most of the time, I can hop on a call at work, especially if it's just 5 or 10 minutes too.
yeah, it's going to be 10 minutes tops, because I'll just review exactly the onboarding procedure, so you know exactly what to get. Now, the cool thing about this is if there's some other people that are very have huge goals, they're excited just like you guys, they want to get out of their jobs and they're looking at something this could be beneficial, you can actually get $2,500 off during your enrollment if they signed up and collectively they put in $2,500. So say Jack and Jill. Jack puts in 1,000, Jill puts in 1,500. Once that's collected, you guys would be able to get, so if you did a paid in full, you guys would get a $2,500 check back, right? Or if you're doing a payment plan, they'll just take that off. So however you guys want to do it, but it saves you even more money. So if you know other people, because you guys are in Atlanta, it's a huge opportunity. A lot of people are looking to make some moves.
For sure. Absolutely. And then also we were referred by someone. Do I give you that? Should I tell you who that was?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Her name is Ashley. I'm blanking on her last name. I'm oh my gosh. I'm like blanking on her name.
I know, I'm like, I could tell you her Instagram name.
I-
That's it.
I literally just talked to her. This is ridiculous. Ashley, what is her fucking?
Didn't you guys put that on like, I believe you guys might have filled out a form with,
I think I did, and I put her last name. I cannot think.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. So that means like our onboarding team already has that.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it's Ashley Kessler. Okay.
Kessler, okay.
K.
Is that the K?
Yeah, Kessler. Yeah,
Okay.
her, I guess, program is alive by Ashley, but she's been hyping you guys up
For sure.
I love it.
a ton.
I love that.
So I want to give her credit where credit's due.
100%. Okay, so cool. So did you guys want to figure out a day that would work? It's just going to be a 10-minute call.
Yeah, I'm good whenever. It's gonna be up to you, Maggie.
Yeah, I could probably do tomorrow. I mean, again, if I'm delivering, I'm delivering, but tomorrow, like 2 is typically a good time. If that works for either one of you, or
Yeah, you guys are EST, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
or I
cool.
could do tomorrow anytime after like 7:15 p.m.
Yeah, if you guys are cool with 2, let's just shoot for 2. I have that open right now.
Okay.
And I can send you a text and based off like my assignment and kind of let you know if I'm like for sure going to be good or if like there could be a problem. But again, if it's just like going over what we went over, I'm fine if Maisha is on the call.
Yep, that's all we're doing is literally just answering any last quick questions. Everything that I promised you guys is going to be in a client agreement as well.
Cool.
Perfect. Sounds good. Awesome. Putting it on my calendar. All right.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it. It was great meeting you.
Yeah, you guys have a phenomenal night.
All
You
right.
too.
Bye,
All
Jeremy.
right, see ya.